Hi, and welcome again to another edition of the Dugout podcast. I am your co-host, Andrew, alongside the lovely Marissa. We're not matching this week, but...
Well, your shirt blue.
Yeah.
Right, so I gone blue too. I mean, it's not as light, as last week, but yeah, sure. Yeah.
But we're not identically matching this week, but hopefully our energy will be. The energy that we want to bring to the show this week is that we want to smile through the pain. We want to show people that despite the hardship, you have to keep going. You must keep moving forward, step by step. That has been the story of Liverpool and Chelsea seasons this year. I think we did the podcast a year too late though.
I tell you this podcast JC teams, but you didn't listen.
We'll see. I think proof is in put in next season.
Okay.
If our respective teams' form remains the same, then I think we can give some credence to your suggestion. Yeah. But let's start at a first. Big talking point. Let's start at
Circus FC.
Yeah, a first down at the bridge. Not London Bridge, this Stamford Bridge. Chelsea pulled the trigger and fired or sacked Graham Potter after just 7 months in charge. After Saturday's 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa. So, Marissa, what are your thoughts? What's your reaction?
So, what happened was Saturday, I was watching Chelsea women, the only Chelsea side that gives me any joy. Not Saturday, Sunday. They happened to be playing Aston Villa, happened to be winning 3-0 away from home. Enjoying myself. Saw this notification from the Chelsea app on my phone, club statement. It's like, oh gosh, no. Then I see it roll across the screen while Chelsea were playing. I was like, oh gosh, Chelsea sacked Potter. First of all, I thought the decision to leak that information during women's game was very distasteful, to be honest. Not very nice at all. Right. But the decision itself, wow. To be honest, I felt after the Villa game that he was gone. Not gone then, but I felt after the Villa game he was going to be gone in summer. I really believe that. There was something different about this defeat. I don't know whether it was the poor lineup. I don't know why he would choose to play Reece James at centre back when he had 2 fit centre backs on the bench. That was baffling to me, especially knowing that Chilwell and Reece are our best outlets going forward, really and truly. I don't know if it was the energy. I also saw, because I didn't get to watch all the game because I was doing some stuff around the house, but I had it on. And then I heard somebody talking about how there were players that were coming over to his sidelines on multiple occasions during the game, almost trying to figure out what they were supposed to be doing. But there was just something different about this defeat. And I just felt the writing was on the wall. I don't know the point of doing it now, because you will disagree when you give your thoughts, but we have nothing to play for. I don't care if we got Real Madrid next week or week after next or whatever. There's no way we were getting past Madrid. There's no reason to sack him now. Honestly, I would have just left it to the summer and whatever. We're not going to get relegated. Don't mind people making jokes about it. We're not going to get Europe. Even if we go on a mazy run, we're still not going to get Europe. What's the point? No. So the timing is an issue for me. The decision itself, I don't know. I have really been a fan of Potter. I liked him. I embraced him as manager. But I do get some of the discontent among the fans. Because really, I think it's the fans that got him sacked, to be honest. I don't think... If he survived after that defeat to Southampton, where we lost against 20th place Southampton that can't score a goal at home, if he survived that, he was going to survive anything this season. But I think the fan discontent, and I know Bowley definitely pays attention to what is going on in the stadium with the fans and on social media. The fan discontent was an absolute low, and a lot of fans couldn't connect with him. Certain things he was saying after games, I wasn't one that picked at it, because you know what? We have had very passionate managers in the past. That isn't always the answer. Sometimes a good, pragmatic, diplomatic, non-emotional response is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But we're not gonna come out after a game that we've just lost 2-0 at home and talk about the XG on when it goes was at that height. I could understand why that would boil fans' buzz. Because when I saw it, I was like, what? Like, this isn't something you should be saying after a game. But anyways, I am not pleased by the decision. From what I understand, they just felt like all they wanted to see was progress, and progress wasn't being seen. But I'm not a fan of the decision. I feel that if you're bringing a man, he doesn't have a preseason. It's a very weird season with a World Cup. SmackDown in November, December. I just felt like you give him at least to the summer. Honestly, like I said, I just felt the writing was on the wall. And I think there are a lot of people to blame here. I blame the hierarchy. I don't think the decision should have been made at this stage of the season, if at all. I blame Potter himself. I think Potter has not done himself any favors. And I'm not talking about how he speaks after games. The decisions on the field, even before we take to the field, the team selections are baffling. We had a good little run before the international break and we were building up team chemistry, and then you throw all that out the window for what reason? And then some of the in-game management. Sometimes when Chelsea take the lead, instead of going for the kill, we will sit back. Like if we're Brighton and a mid-table team, just even Brighton don't ever do that. So I don't know why I made that analogy. But it's like some of his decisions in game were poor. I blame the players because, again, in a lot of the games, I can't pinpoint games where we were really bad. Southampton was really bad. Mm-hmm. Villa was not great at the weekend. Everton at home was not great either. So there are games you can pinpoint we weren't good. But there were many games where we played well. But as usual, like somebody said today after the Liverpool game, Chelsea could play to Christmas and won't score a goal. So it's like these players do not know how to finish. And some of the decision making against Villa, we had clear opportunities to score, but people making the wrong pass or people taking too long to play the passes. Like, these players got to take responsibility too. So I blame everybody involved. I don't think anybody's particularly innocent. I felt like Potter himself should have kept things more simple. I think he tried to tinker too much. I think we had, I cannot remember the number, but we've made more changes to our starting lineup than any other team in the league. And we're not even battling relegation. It's like, how can you build team chemistry if you keep changing the lineup? I understand some changes are enforced. For instance, Fofana was doing well before the international break, but he got injured just before the international break. But come on, Badia Shield was playing well. Then all of a sudden, no, he's not in the lineup. I don't know. Like, the circus at Chelsea just keep on rumbling. And it's hard as a fan to take, to be honest. I can't even say I'm excited about what's next because I'm not. I'm just not. I see everybody, yeah, we should get Nagelsmann, yeah, we should get Poch, yeah, we should get Enrique. And I'm like, does it matter? Will we be any better? I don't even know. So I am just an exasperated Chelsea fan at the moment. Let's hear you.
Finally.
I hear you did not. I see you did not in a way with that big grin on your face. So I know you're ready.
Not really. I'm going to be very, very brief. Something that you are not. Wow. So
you can forgive me. This is not my third. This is not the second manager I've sat in the season. You can forgive me for my rant this time, surely.
Sure. Where to start? Okay, I'm surprised. I will be the first to admit I have not always been keeping abreast of things at Stamford Bridge, right? Even when fans of Chelsea that I know, give me a call or a message and complain about certain things, I have not always, taken it seriously. I felt the trepidation. But similar to you, I like Potter. When he was at Brighton. I like style of football that he played, and I was one who, although Chelsea not my team, I would have been prepared to give him a chance. See how things played out. Now, I always felt he needed time. Obviously, in the modern game, time is not something that you're often afforded unless you have supposed credit in the bank. I think what he is, from my memory, he would be one of the first Chelsea managers who has not been a former player of the club that would have been brought in before any big CV behind
Yeah,
the name.
permanent manager.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had Lampard and Di Matteo, who were former managers, former players,
Right.
and everybody else would have arrived having won something of note.
Except Villas-Boas. And we all know who that went.
Villas-Boas won he won something of note. He won the Portuguese league, and I think he won the Europa League or something like that.
Okay.
Before he came in.
Oh, I didn't remember.
Or would have then been the UEFA Cup.
Okay.
So he was like similar to what you was there was
in
terms of at least accomplishments at that stage.
Mm-hmm.
Real far back for his name, Villas-Boas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't work well. And that's the thing, not to say everyone has been successful, but they all came with a certain level of notoriety.
Pedigree.
Yeah, or pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think that in terms of fan base, I think that obviously is what went against Potter. In the sense that you replace a Champions League winning manager for the team and a manager who's well liked by the supporters and the fan base generally with a guy who, as much as you commend Brighton for its stellar football that they play, the budget that they have and how they have survived in the Premier League, he's not won anything. And when you come with that as your CV, you need to hit the ground running. You need to get results really quickly. And he didn't. Now, yes, it's a unusual season with the international breaks and the World Cup and all that stuff. He had injuries to key players at times to contend with as well. So there were a lot of challenges. I have a different take on, for example, what he might say in the media. Because I know, because some people, I've heard Chelsea fans accuse him of having a small club mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to be insulted. So, like I said, I didn't read all the comments, but whether or not, so I'm not, maybe it is a small club mentality. Maybe they're right. It could also be just an honest assessment of the game. But I feel as though when you are managing a team like Chelsea, who has such a rich success or rich history of instant success and, a constant gravitation and desire to win, sometimes the fan base does not want to hear an honest assessment.
The boys gave everything.
Yeah,
he's been mocked a lot for saying that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying he's lying, but it might just be an honest assessment. I don't put a lot of substance either into the notion that to be a successful manager, you need to be fiery and passionate.
I agree.
I watched Sampioli for Argentina in 2018 World Cup up and on the sidelines like a rabbit, playing coffee or something. And the team didn't play well. So
look at Ancelotti.
Although sometimes theatrics don't always tell it's
exactly.
It's not a measuring stick to see if this guy is good or this guy is effective.
But I find that people gravitate towards charisma. It's like they don't even care about what the person's actually like. They just want to see like a Conte. They want to see, remember Conte and Tuchel at the end of the Tottenham game, but at the Bridge in September. They want to see that. Mm-hmm. But science is not always about that.
Yeah, like you get a lot of, what's the word? I refer to the word, but people get a lot of praise for their personality in English football. Mm-hmm. That's why people like Klopp.
Yeah.
That's why people have liked, but you can't not like Pep because Pep teams play good football. Mm-hmm. But people like Jose because it's something extra, it's a bit of drama.
Yeah.
Right, and that drives the narrative along, so to speak. So, Pod who seems to be very quiet and unassuming.
Yeah.
Big thing for me though, I can't argue against the sacking because the results have been so bad in terms of if you look at the wins and the results. You can't argue if you lose a job, right? Because you haven't met the requirement. What I would say is that I don't think he was given enough time, but at the same time, then is the argument of, but it didn't look like it was going to get any better. So how much more time can we afford to give him? That's also an argument that I would listen to.
That's a narrative that came out actually as well. Like they're willing to stick with him, but it's like they didn't see an end date for when they would see improvement and progress because things just seem to get really, really bad.
You spoke about his team selection choices sometimes. Yeah, you're not the first person again who was complaining about how he was using certain players. Again, I didn't check because I had just come off the back of a defeat myself. So I definitely didn't check the starting lineup. But in national break, I'm not sure if people came back in terms of how early to return or not. If people had low niggles and that's why he made the changes, we'll never know.
He didn't say
Right?
anything.
I personally felt as if y'all gave Tuchel a lot of cash to spend in summer, then sacked him and replaced him with Potter. Then again, a massive outlay was made in the January transfer window to bring in new players again. And I'm wondering if it's a case where like there's a transfer committee or somebody who's making these signings for him. And because to me, at times it looked like he didn't know what his best team was.
Yeah.
And it looked like I have so many pieces and I can't really figure out how to fit them in. Like, for example, when we talked about Ziyech was almost what we do in January, and then for the next 2 or 3 games consecutively, he was going to start.
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it because this guy was almost a player who it seemed as if Chelsea were allowing to leave, and then suddenly he's back in as a fixture he plans. It's just weird. So it's like it seemed as if he didn't have a settled system or a way of playing that he wanted to implement, and maybe that's where the confusion came from.
So just a note on the transfers. When we gave Tuchel the money, Tuchel was basically heading up the transfers, basically.
Right.
But since then, we basically have our set board structure in place now. So in January, it was mostly that technical committee that was working along. Potter had input as well too, but it was mostly them that were signing the players. But I get what you're saying. I do. I do think having so many players and then not getting rid of a lot, yeah. But my thing is that let me look at the Aubameyang situation, for example. It's clear when Potter came in, he was not a fan. So he had no problem like leaving Aubameyang out of Champions League squad. He had no problem basically not picking him for matchday squads in league. So if you made that one decision that is so authoritative, why couldn't you do that with other players? Why, for instance, is Ziyech still around? Is it that you actually like Ziyech? But again, starting a guy 2 days after he was in Paris waiting on paperwork to go through, it's not a good look. And some of the in-game subs as well, like for instance against Everton, Kante was on the bench. Kante was ready to come on for 20, 30 minutes. But instead of bringing on Kante, you brought on Gallagher. Gallagher is literally first sub every game. And I get it. He has energy. He gives everything, like he likes to say. But again, some of the decisions is like 1 minute he's authoritative. Next minute he's waffling. It's just like, I
personally feel he had too many pieces to fit in. And I remember I've been critical of Chelsea signings in the sense that a lot of your players, especially in the forward areas, are semi. Sterling, Ziyech, Pulisic, Madrid, Mandzukic, everything. I'm pretty sure there are some other people. I know you said Massimo is a centre mid, but he plays out wide on occasion as well. So there are a lot of players. You have like a lot of options in those areas, and it seems like Potter never knew what his best team was.
But my issue with that's fine. I can see it, and the squad is large, so that's normal. Right. But my thing is, you had enough time, in my opinion, to say, okay, so when Madrid first came in, he was right on the bench and came on against Liverpool. Then Madueke, when he came in, I think he had a niggle, but he also came right in for Fana as well. So it's almost as if he didn't take the time to decide, okay, maybe Fofana, this is the striker Fofana, isn't ready. So let me not play him. Let him play with the under-23s for now, or maybe let him go on loan. Madueke, raw, maybe let me not play him for right now. Madrid, get him up to speed because the league in Ukraine wasn't, I think they were on break like well before the World Cup. So he was rusty. Let me give him time to bed in. So then you stay. I know Pulisic and Sterling were injured. So then you stick with a side. You stick with an 11 and then slowly integrate those players. He did, for me, I agree with you, but it's like he didn't take the time to figure out how the pieces fit.
But ideally, see, hindsight is also 2020. Ideally, for example, when Jurgen Klopp normally signs a player, you you will see that he sticks with a certain level and then gradually he'll introduce them,
Mm-hmm.
right? Except for probably Luis Diaz.
Right.
Everybody else kind of like, you buy the time and then you get games eventually.
Right.
Gappo is the second in quick succession that kind of comes straight back straight in team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's always easier when you're winning
Mm-hmm.
to sign players and allow them time to train and give them that time.
True.
When you're under pressure, and
True.
you need, especially I mean, look at the transfer fee that you laid on that player.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say you're struggling. You buy Madrid and these might cost so much money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play them, and the chairman, I board looking at you like, I buy this, I spend this cash for the sell on the bench. So like, there also are different pressures that I imagine will come, and that's not the easiest decision to make. I just don't like the fact that it felt honestly like there was a guy who you all got from Villa in midfield. You know what I mean?
Chukwuemeka.
Yes. It always felt.
Thank you for bringing that up.
As if when I saw him, I was impressed. I was like, oh, I know see why you all stole him from Villa. But it always felt as if you would play 3 or 4 games,
and then you would
play
never
nucleus
see
and then you never see them again for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
So that's what I'm saying.
It felt weird.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Let me go back to the game where we basically played RB side versus City because so many players were out. Chukwuemeka played very good in that game against City.
Right, that game I watched.
Lewis Hall
really
has been brilliant whenever he's played. When's the last time you saw him play for
he's
Chelsea?
Raw, but he can improve against.
Exactly. So I'm like, why did you play these players for so long?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, give them a good run, and then all of a sudden you ain't seen them for months. So for me, exactly, and then you try and trust it is failing you when these players are actually the ones giving everything. So my thing is like, that's what I'm saying about his decision making. Is like there was nothing ever consistent. Mm-hmm. If he was sticking to a core of, let's say, 15, 20 players, and we are suffering with those players, at least you could say he's trying to embed his philosophy. But how can you embed your philosophy on a team, on a squad, when you're changing it game to game, week to week? It doesn't work.
Yeah, that way said it points to the fact that he didn't know what his best team was, and he was struggling to find a cohesive way of playing. Because I had games I watched all where, and I think I had games where I watched all where it looked okay, and then I had games where
it wasn't.
It was, it looked like the team lacked ideas and it lacked
creativity.
Yeah, exactly. So,
that's how we looked against Villa. Because my thing is like, it's almost like every game you're playing 11 that never play together, which is a problem.
But coming to something that you said before we hop off the Chelsea topic,
yeah,
two things I want to touch on. You said that there's nothing to play for. No, I may tend to agree with you. You can roll your eyes as much as you want. Your 2 previous Champions League victories were on the back of mid-season managerial changes.
But not 2 sackings in the season, though.
Yeah, that was the first time for everything. But nah, I honestly believe, right? You see, this is the thing. It's unlikely, yes. But we all know that if you're the chairman, if you're the board of directors or what's not, if you're the players themselves, you are thinking, okay, my best opportunity to qualify for next year's Champions League, which, regardless of what anybody says, every club every club wants, every club desires. Nobody wants to miss out on that Champions League money. You're saying, okay, our best chance might be to try to win this competition again. Sorry, to get in the tournament again next season. I'm not saying that is the reason Potter got sacked, but I feel like the owners or whoever making those decisions are advising Todd Bowley probably said, okay, we need to do something now. We can't be any longer. We need to at least salvage something from this season. Whether it be Champions League or qualification for Europe in general, because, I think you get more money based on your league position.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I know it's not much for lofty Chelsea, but I'd rather finish 7th than 16th or 15th. So
I agree.
I believe.
I agree.
Exactly. So I believe I'm not saying that y'all are going to make this.
But we ain't getting 7th though.
Who knows?
The highest Chelsea is going to finish the season is 10th. You've heard it here first.
Let's not debate that. I don't really care, to be honest, because my team ain't doing it better, and I might be right there with you.
At least you got more of a chance.
Oh Lord. But the point is that that's one thing, and so I still feel like there's, there's still your professional pride to play for. I think Chelsea has not finished in the bottom half of the league since 1995 or 1996. There's still professional pride to play for as a club. There's still European qualification. I know you're not accustomed to it, but
Conference League.
Europa League, not Conference League. Come on, Europa League.
Conference League is 8th. Me again the Europa League.
We'll see. I'm not saying you will get it. I'm just saying that is stuff that you can go for. No, but right now I know you're being pessimistic and you're being all downcast.
We have scored 29 goals in 29 games. Where we can get the goals from to move up the table?
Skipper. I'm not saying that it can happen. I'm saying that's what you're thinking is you need to make a change.
All right, friend.
He didn't hide 29 goals with Graham Potter. You understand? But the club just said, let's make a change and let's see if we can get upturning form. At least a positive end to season. Whatever that positive end might look like, who knows? But the club clearly felt as though they had to make a change. Right. Me personally though, I personally felt that Potter, having spent so much money with him at the helm, I felt that he would have given him maybe to the end of the year or close to the end of the year-ish. But clearly, based on the performances, they didn't get enough encouragement. They didn't feel as if, an upturn in fortune would have come. And that's why we are here now. Next thing I want to touch on. Who do you think will eventually, succeed good old Graham Potter?
I don't care.
Okay.
Honestly, that's just my feeling. Like, there's
because
such
you're
a
depressed. You move.
Exactly. I just feel so down about the club. Like, I genuinely can't get excited about anybody. I've heard great things about Nagelsmann. I've heard, yeah, that's everybody's favorite. Everybody's new shiny
he's the most
toy.
popular. I heard you've made contact already.
Yeah, we've also made contact with Enrique.
Right.
I hear some Chelsea fans actually getting excited about Pochettino. Don't understand why. So I mean, I genuinely don't have it in me to. I know I should care, but right now the club just got me so depressed that it's hard to get excited about who it is or even who it should be. To be honest, that's just how I feel. Just being honest. Next week I might say a different tune, but that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I also want to point out, right, that she mentioned Chelsea only scored 29 goals. But she didn't tell you all that it was me. I tell you Chelsea can't make name of value unless you get goals in team. Consistent goals in team. But, and something else too, we got to get my recruitment better. Because when I spent all the money playing these players, right, and I tell you ready to build, some of them raw. I'm not saying that. I can see the talent there in some of the players that you did sign, the youngsters.
Yeah.
There definitely is talent. But people that should be better, like Havertz and those guys that should convert more. I find that I don't know if it's a confidence thing, maybe. But they definitely approach the chances that you guys do create with a lack of conviction.
And the thing is, we actually create a lot,
Yeah.
That's my thing. I am actually ready to sell Havertz this summer.
I heard that Tuchel's interested in taking him to Bayern.
Yeah, he could go along.
But how about that?
He could go along. I'm just done. All
right. But you know what? Chelsea Potter was not the only managerial casualty this weekend.
He was number 12. Number 11 was your good old friend. I actually didn't know until I was watching something. Chelsea women again. Mm-hmm. And during the halftime, they were talking about who should replace Rodgers. No. Did they talk about it? I think it just... I can't remember how it came up. Mm-hmm. I was like, replace Rodgers? So then I Googled it and saw that he actually got sacked the same Sunday.
But you know what's funny?
What's that?
I read Rodgers' departing statement as he left the club, right?
He had a departing statement? What he said?
I'll give you just of it. Mm-hmm. Rodgers, thanked the club for the support over the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Thank for creating history because they won the FA Cup 2021, I believe. But
you just get me so sick.
Sorry, no, because I honestly was not thinking of that. Is the fact you look at me with that look, right? As in, what are you bringing that up for? But anyways, Rodgers also said that he had every confidence that he would have kept the club in the Premier League, and I laughed at myself. I'm pretty sure you said it to the owner in a meeting and he tell you, no, I don't believe you're a fraud.
That second came too late to me though.
Yeah, I mean, they could have made change earlier. Actually, you know what? I hate on Rodgers for one reason and one reason only. And that's because I did not particularly like some of his decisions when he was at the helm at my team. But Rodgers is not a bad manager, no. He's not the worst I've seen.
You believe that Paul Merson thinks that he should be next Chelsea manager?
He does have ties at Chelsea, though.
I know he started there, but
Yeah, he started there.
how could you possibly think that Brendan Rodgers is the best man to replace?
You know what? You should, you know. But Rodgers is renowned for creating
Paul Merson
good attacking teams.
is a well-open Arsenal fan. Obviously, he wants Rodgers at Chelsea.
Okay, but wait.
Imagine if Potter went to Leicester and Rodgers went to Chelsea.
Exactly, but I mean, I can't see it, and I mean, I was no give Rodgers a compliment. He's not a horrible manager, no. I just don't think he's elite. But if you think about it, he got some credentials that.
No thanks.
He won a couple leagues at Celtic.
No thanks.
He almost at Liverpool the title.
No thanks.
Well, you can say no thanks all you want. You're making decisions. His
name hasn't even come up.
You don't really
Thank
know.
God.
But I mean, we will you always get your managers. I'm pretty sure he'll get it eventually. What's your name, man?
Tears.
Take your time, Brendan. It coming.
Tears.
You know
Tears.
Just sit with the phone. It coming. Somebody can give Rodgers a job though.
Yeah, I believe so.
He's not bad. He's not the worst manager I've seen. I don't know. I think
he might be Southampton manager. I will not be surprised. Well, then again, no, they're getting down, so probably not.
But what annoys me about Rodgers, right, is the fact that I don't know. You have to get the sense that some like a salesman trying to sell you something that you definitely know they can't get done.
I've never really been a fan of how he speaks.
Yeah, he's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But,
So that's 12 manager sackings.
Yeah.
2 from Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Circus FC. 2 from Leeds. 2 from Southampton, it was?
I believe so.
So that's 6. So 3 clubs responsible for half the managerial sackings in the season. That is mad. That is mad.
I tell you, all football is a business.
It's clear. But who are the other 6 though? Bournemouth, Scott Parker.
Mm-hmm. Gerrard.
Conte, Gerrard, Lampard.
Mm-hmm. I forget Lampard got sacked.
Me too. He was at game today.
I can have called that. I can have called that too. No, I said that I don't think he'll met the the editors that.
I think that Bowley should bring on Lampard and JT.
To any season?
No, not to manage, just to be part of the setup. To be honest, that's what I would do. Anyways, who's the other 2 we missing?
Wait. Reverse there. Why would you bring on Lampard? And JT?
Because I think that what is missing from a lot of these players is that they don't know. I know I can get the usual gas, or we're not that big of a club, whatever. But there's certain clubs.
Not from me, but
from certain people.
Right.
But there's certain players that know what it's like to bleed blue.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the players that give everything. I don't know why I'm repeating that, but yeah. But when you see players on the field that just coasting around, they don't understand what it means to play for this club. I think having somebody in the back room to instill that mentality. These are 2 men that won lows at Chelsea. Maybe it might help the mentality of these players, because I still think Chelsea is quite a soft team, in my opinion. So that's my reasoning.
Okay.
We're missing 2 sackings.
Yeah. I can't think of them, no, to be honest. Can't think of them, no.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, anyhow, indeed.
Anyhow, I saw Mitrovic got a ban for shoving
foolishness.
The referee.
Yeah, foolishness. 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
8 games. And he wasn't that much more aggressive than Fernandes was, and Fernandes escaped punishment.
Fernandes didn't push the referee.
He did not push him. What he did.
Well, sorry. I saw.
Is it when you want to pull somebody back and talk to them?
He took him.
Yeah, and it wasn't even. I understand you can't put hands. Fine, he get a red card, 3-game ban, leave it at that. But 8 games, that's excessive.
It really is, but it's for them.
It's not Manchester United.
Correct.
But it's against Manchester United. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I can't make sense of it, because like I said, just a couple of weeks earlier, Fernandes gave the linesman a bit of a shove, and you heard about old linesman manhandle Fernandes first, which he didn't.
He did not.
Exactly. So, just the crazy world that we live in, you know?
Double standards.
Hate
it. Cannot stand it.
Double standards.
Anyways, so we have a little exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I was supposed to tell you, My producer says that I should start backing PSG or Man City. I know who he think he talking to. He's sitting here, do not even entertain it.
I mean, it wouldn't be different.
I'm not one of those football
Wouldn't
fans.
be too different from Chelsea fans, seeing as a lot of them came on board once Chelsea got the big butts, and and sent it to the top. It was sticking with tradition, so maybe that's what he meant. I'm not saying I agree with him, I'm just saying that's what he meant, I know a Chelsea fan who was back at Arsenal. I went Roberts took over at Chelsea.
You serious?
I'm very serious, very, very serious.
Nah, that ain't good enough.
When Roberts took over at Chelsea, he made the short track across.
That's not good enough. Who's that?
Listen, I can't do that.
Tell me off air.
I tell you off air.
That's not good enough. That's not good. I mean, I ain't like Arsenal, but that's not good, man. That's not good. Yeah. It's not a good look.
He tell me smelly rat. Right? Could I make Arsenal a little nosedive? Smelly rat.
Sure, he'd like to be supporting Arsenal, All right, so we're gonna start a little trend. Because we realize we're coming on here and we're making these predictions of games, but we never really come back to it. So what we've decided to do is we are going to have a little leaderboard where we'll keep track of our predictions, and then you get 1 point if your prediction of a win or a loss is correct, and you get 3 points if you get the scoreline correct as well. And what does the winner of this little challenge get at the end?
I proposed that the loser pays for dinner.
Okay.
Or lunch or whatever, the occasion.
All right.
But Marissa, in her cheapskate fashion, told me that, she can, it'll be a bulldog at the gas station.
That's dinner?
Because she cheap.
It will fill your stomach.
But if it can be a bulldog at the gas station, right? I want to know. You don't want to know what you return the favor with if you were to win.
What's that?
I didn't say that, but it'd be saying very, very cheap.
I like bulldogs. Lollipop is not dinner. At least a bulldog could pass for dinner.
Maybe a sweetie. A packet of times at a
no.
or
Something that you can eat that is warm.
Listen, you should be listen. She know it. She know life. You ever eat a packet of times?
Dinner.
A small packet, not a big one. A small packet.
Dinner.
A small packet of times and a supper jet.
Anyways,
stop a hole.
Let me shake on it. Dinner. $10 or more.
I want a bulldog though. You can't come for the bulldog.
So what you would want?
Something substantial. Not obviously I want it to me to like some big glamorous, but same better than that. Come on, he's a working woman.
So what? KFC?
Sure.
All right. So $20 limit then?
25. You walk on here and drink.
You said dinner. You said dinner and drink.
Dinner's come as a part drink. Dinner is come as a drink.
Anyways, that shake on it.
You really watch it. Why come in?
I'm trying not to hit it.
If I come in 70 and you say 30.
Fine.
There's not a hit.
You shake on it.
All right, let me go.
So let me start. West Ham Newcastle tomorrow. West Ham at home.
I'm gonna go with a draw. 1-1 draw.
2-1 Newcastle. Okay. Man United Brentford also tomorrow. Man United at home.
I'll go for 2-0 Man United.
1-1. 1-1 draw.
Interesting.
Man United at home to Everton. Saturday early kickoff.
2-1 Man U.
Man, I got Everton to score you. 2-0 Man U. Newcastle away at Brentford. It's too tough away trips there, boy.
I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Brentford, man.
I agree. See, this is why I want this to the board, because I gotta predict games not onto emotion, but actually analyzing what's really gonna happen. Chelsea away at Wolves. Oh, gosh.
Whoa. I'll go for 1-0 Chelsea win. You laughing at? I bet you're right.
Where we can get it go from?
I know. It won't go. But whoever it comes.
Whoa. This is tough. everything in me says that we can lose this game. But I ain't go 1-1.
Okay.
I think it'll be a draw. Tottenham at home to Brighton.
I will go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2?
Yeah.
My head telling me 2-2, but my gut telling me 3-2 Spurs.
Trust a gut.
Nah. 2-2. And go with 2-2. Man City away at Southampton.
That could be anything. 3-0 City.
3-0 City. Yes, I agree. Liverpool at home to Arsenal.
Liverpool 1. Arsenal 3. I want this dinner, so I can predict the results properly.
I know again. This is a delusional prediction.
Mm-hmm.
But 2-1 Liverpool. I believe y'all be decide to make this title race interesting again. Hey man, look at me.
Nah, cause I've done some rubbish takes on this show. That takes a kid. Liverpool are going to be beaten, and I believe they'll be beaten comprehensively. Okay, as I told you off air before, Liverpool will probably start well. Maybe for 15-20 minutes, high energy, after rocking. Maybe they get a goal and go ahead. But as soon as that bubble bursts, and Arsenal somehow get equalizer, and they'll probably equalizer that are avoidable too.
Yeah, because when we the carving, when it open like butter today.
Yeah.
But 6 changes.
It's not a changes to the team.
I back in the Reds.
The team are not performing well.
I back in the Reds.
Full stop. You could do as late.
Back in the Reds. Every time I back the Reds, there's lose. So maybe that's just a.
You could do as late. I tell you, Liverpool will probably lose 3-1 at home.
Nah.
No, I'm going to say Arteta up and down touchline dancing around like a sheep.
What was the result at the Emirates?
Arsenal won 3-2. But the penalty, that wasn't a penalty on Thiago.
I can't remember that game. Why can't I remember that game?
That was the one where VAR didn't have the lines to draw for the first offside goal. And
right.
And then remember there was a contentious penalty at the end that won again for Arsenal.
Right. Okay.
So I probably owe Arsenal 1, but I don't think I'd be able to give them it on Sunday. So
whatever.
We'll go get next season.
All right. So we can touch on a few cricket matters. We have confirmed that West Indies will play the qualifiers of the World Cup. No shocker there. But my question, Andrew, will West Indies actually get out of these qualifiers?
I don't know. It all depends on what group they fall into and who they're playing, who their opponents are.
So let me tell you the teams. Because I never care about opponents.
Zimbabwe, Nepal, Oman, right?
Sri Lanka, Netherlands, Scotland, Nepal, Oman, UAE, USA, Zimbabwe, and mostly Ireland.
Right.
So Ireland, Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, and given how we play at the World Cup, maybe even Scotland.
Good question. This is qualifiers for
the World Cup.
50 over? Or?
50 over World Cup this year in October.
Right. Okay, USA. Oh.
Yeah. Then qualify recently, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Well, I mean, come on. We just said it you said it last week that you were encouraged by the performance of the series in South Africa.
Confident.
So I have a little bit more faith in your side.
Right.
Notice I said your side and not mine. I don't really watch cricket. But
Kyako.
Sorry, I don't really support West Indies like that. No. I mean, I support them, but you know what I mean? I'm not as invested as you are. No, I will not lose my here over West Indies performance or result. You know?
Sight.
We're a long time removed from people like Sarwan that I actually cared about.
Well, fair enough. But I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know. West Indies
is in Zimbabwe, right?
Yeah.
In June or July. All right, so it all depends on. Let's hope that we get the squad selection right. Let's hope that our players go there in good form. And like I said, it depends on the opponent. It depends on how we adjust to the conditions. How focused our batsmen are. Like you said, we had a good series in South Africa, which I assume South Africa and Zimbabwe conditions shouldn't be too dissimilar.
It won't be, yeah.
So let's hope that whatever positives we took from the series that ended a week or so ago, let's hope that we can then translate that. So it's all about building blocks, making steps.
Yeah.
The problem with West Indies cricket is that they take 2 steps forward and then they take about 5 or 6 back.
Sound like Circus FC.
Yeah. Well, I'll have that in common with Chelsea.
Yeah.
That's no problem. But let's hope that, whatever strides our batsmen made, and we lauded people like Johnson Charles, for example, Alzari. There were a couple other batsmen that we said good things about too. Brandon King, for example. Let's hope that, let's hope that they are able to take that good stuff forward and not the bad things.
Hopefully. Then we also have some West Indians doing well in the IPL. Alzari is bowling really, really well. He's definitely gone home quicker. I don't know what you do, but he's definitely hustling on faster and he's bowling really well. Kalmiers is, I think, second top scorer so far in 2 games. He's played 2 really good innings. Puran has been decent. I think that's it. I don't think Russell and Narayan really do much yet, but should we really count them because they don't play for West Indies anymore? But yeah, they're still West Indians. So yeah, I think that's it for the West Indies. I think Jason Holder had a decent outing. Hetmeyer, thereabouts. Hetmeyer. Anyways, let's just say about he did better. So yeah, I think that's it from me. I don't know if you have anything else that you wanted to bring to the table.
I did not.
Okay.
No. Definitely did. Well, I definitely did not. I don't think so. So I think that's it from me as well.
Okay.
I'll wrap up with the sponsorship.
All right. So you can obviously, well, not obviously, but of course, follow us at the Dugout_podcast on Instagram and the Dugout Podcast BB on YouTube, where we post all of our videos. You can also follow Spirit Led Studios 246, I think it is. Anyways, if I'm wrong,
wait, stop. You can't be like anyways like.
Again, no, I said it can come up on your screen in front of us. Yeah.
I thought you meant anyways.
I wasn't brushing. I can't brush off shot. Come on.
You do it all the time though, in fairness.
Yeah, when he tell me nonsense.
The same way you want to buy me a bulldog, you probably offer that shot.
Whoa.
But
anyways.
if God forbid she wins the discussion, she want me to catch you somewhere, semi-important. With a nice view.
I am low maintenance. I could take a little pizza or a burger.
That's such a lie.
Maybe some KFC hot wings. Anyways, we get distracted. Spirit Led Studios should be scrolling across the screen. And of course, Whole Health Pharmacy, our lovely sponsors of the cups that neither of us decided to bring today. Yeah. Shame on us. But you guys know what they look like, so just imagine them in my hands. So I think that's basically it. So join us next week for another episode of the Dugout Podcast and more happenings at Circus FC. We'll see if Circus FC has a manager by then.
Before we wrap up, I almost forgot.
What's that?
Wait, what day do you play Chelsea?
What day do I play Chelsea?
Yeah. Sorry, not Chelsea. Real. What day do you play Real?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Tuesday.
Yeah. So I think we should. Actually, we already know what your prediction will be. So anyway,
Real Madrid 5, Chelsea 0.
Because she has nothing to add, right? And we know that she does not believe that.
Of course, I believe it.
You don't believe that?
Listen to me. If Real Madrid score, how much it was at Anfield? 7? 5?
You so disrespectful. Anyways,
if Real Madrid score 5 at Anfield, will you take that again to me at the Bernabeu?
First and first, for your information,
it's Wednesday actually. So
it's Wednesday. Okay,
still got Tuesday to talk about it.
We'll talk about it on Tuesday.
But my opinion not gonna change.
But for your information, yes, they score 5 at Anfield, but Liverpool have been defensively poor this year.
Okay.
Chelsea, although they've only scored 29 goals, I'm pretty sure you guys actually have not conceded that much either.
It's true.
You still have
We've
a good
conceded
defensive
the
record.
4th least in the league.
Exactly. Your problem is scoring goals, not conceding them. So might not score that much
Sure,
against Real.
I do take comfort in fact we haven't really been hammered like 4 and
my
5 and
goodness.
6.
You see, this is
Thank God for
pessimistic.
small mercies.
Marissa, right? All logic goes out the window. Talking off.
I still think Real Madrid can
foolishness.
put some hot ones in me though, honestly. I do. But anyways, what a terrible note to end the show on. So afraid he is. Had to break that game just to spoil my mood.
You were transitioning into a good one. Was that what was happening there?
Anyways, we'll see what happens at Circus FC next week. I
Would
heard
you
they want to
stop?
get a. They are Circus FC.
Oh boy,
The main attraction is the managerial merry-go-round.
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Marissa.
So we gotta see. I heard they want a manager by Real Madrid. So we'll see. We'll see if we got a manager by the time we come here. I really don't think we. I mean, 3 permanent managers in one season. Jeez,
You know
man.
the first. You know.
No big club does that.
No, I behave myself. I said I wouldn't do it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to question the, status of Chelsea as a big club. Even though moments ago we had a fan predict that they'll lose by 5. I'm not going to question that at all. So Marissa, you want to say goodbye to the folks at home?
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This program was brought to you by Spirit Led Studios, the sound of life.